Ahoy Ye Swabs, Captain Jeff the Pirate here at Shared Service. And welcome to another episode of Captain Jeff Reviews and Questions Adventure Time. Today's episode, The Diary. This episode, it'd be amazing. Because this episode, it does not feature Finn the human whatsoever. Not even in passing, or mentioned, or even visually. Now, this episode, it focuses on one of Jake's kids, TV, who is voiced by Dan Mitz. He be the voice of Tina from Bob's Burgers. This will be the second time a major character from Bob's Burgers be getting a major voice role for this cartoon. The other one be Miss Shaw from, who's the voice of Louise, also from the Bob's Burgers. Yeah. The episode begins with TV playing a video game, and Lady Radicorn be concerned that her son not be making anything of himself. So Jake sends him out to go pick up a chocolate bar. So when he goes to pick up the chocolate bar, it be a brick from under the bridge. And while he's under this bridge, he finds a diary wrapped. It be inside a Ziploc plastic baggie. So he decides to read it and see whose it belongs to. And thus he gets caught up in the fantasy world. Now the book, at the beginning, it says, property of PB. And I'm like, okay, this be way heavy-handed. There be no way it could be that's PB. Especially seeing as how we hear the voice of the girl, so we know it's not PB, but you're supposed to think, oh, maybe this is something from the princess. So then Lady Radicorn notices that TV's been gone for a while, so Jake goes to check on him, and finds that he's lost in the fantasy world. So they decide to track down this girl and figure out what happened to her. So first they go to what was mentioned in the book, like this makeout tree, where all the teenagers used to go. And here's what, on the last pages it said that there'd be a boy named Justin that this PB lady liked. And he said he had a surprise for her at the tree. What could it be? So they check out the tree and find it be some kind of music box that has little waltzing cats play inside of it that dance to a tune. So then they go and they find the person who made the box. And they figure out who bought it. It'd be a handsome young man, his name be Justin. So they decide to keep looking and figure out if they can find any more clues. And the shop seller says that the girl who he was giving it for lived at this cave at the far end of town by this road. And they'd be like, okay, maybe we can figure out why these 3 pages are missing and why the handwriting is different near the end. So they go to the cave, and inside the cave they find a shabbily built shack. And on the inside, they find all these books, and they be like mythical books, and there's like a plastic skeleton hanging from the metal gurney thing. All right, so let's see. We know this is a girl from a long time ago, based on how the tree is now gone. Well, one of the trees is gone. We know that the writing is different for some reason. We know about the box that was bought, and we now know her location, and we know she'd be interested in the field of medicine. So who could this mysterious woman be? As they look around at some of the items, they discover some letters. And it'd be written to Justin, the guy in question that she be flirting with. She then goes on to explain that she had a claw hand installed and then was able to get it repaired to look like a normal hand. So as she's writing about how she lived in a cave for many years by herself, she got all this reading done. And while she got all this reading done, and she also learned about medicine. And while we be hearing all this voiceover, we see who PB is. And here it be. The last name is Betsy. So, who is Betsy? Well, the girl we see is clearly not bubblegum. It looks like some form of pastry. So then we figure out the name is Pound Cake Betsy. Now, who do we know that's a pound cake? It be Nurse Pound Cake. So now we know the great mystery of who this diary belonged to. So apparently she just went on to her life and now she's living it normally. She has both hands looking normal and life be going pretty well for her. She seems to be having it all together. So Jake and TV, after finding out all this mystery, they decide to wander off. So TV be like, I wonder what those 3 pages were. And Jake says, oh, it'd be just a bunch of mean stuff about Justin. I bet you he'd be pretty sad, and I bet you he's been pretty sad about this all these years. You want to go find him? No. And that's how the episode ends. So, yeah, apparently the only way that T would be interested in finding this Justin character is if he found his diary or journal or whatever and went on this, get lost in the fantasy of the writing. Yeah, so I thought this was a fairly interesting episode. So far we've had, out of all the episodes, we've had only 3 of the 5 kids of Jake and Lady Raina Karn. So I'm wondering when will we get the focus on the other 2? Alright, so you got Jake's first kid, who be really stuck up and is married, but we only had to deal with him once and actually learned to love his father at the end. You got Jake Jr. She be apparently pursuing the life of crime that her father once did. This being an interesting take. And then, of course, we have TV, who he be playing games, but he also be slightly antisocial. Seriously, at the start of the episode, someone was trying to say hello to him, and he just up and teleported away from the guy. I think when they were making TV, they took some of Tina's traits from Bob's Burgers and put them from her onto him, so... Yeah, this episode, it was alright, but there was plenty of room for improvement. So I be giving the diary 1 thumb up. Yeah, you don't have to be hurting yourself to be trying to see this one. But, like I said, I find it interesting that they focused on another one of Jake's kids, so they have 2 more to be working with. And, of course, there'd be the whole, is this the Princess Bubblegum's diary? There'd be that factor. It'd be a little heavy-handed, a little too obvious, so... still, yeah, I like how they be trying to do something new and different. Alright, that's all the time we have for this week's episode. Until next time, this be Captain Jeff for Reviewing and Question Adventure Time, saying thank you for watching, and as always, arrgh, have a nice day.